Hello and welcome to our cabin B227 here on P&O Ventura. Yes, me and Dom have never actually stayed in a balcony cabin before on board a P&O ship. So let's go in and take a look. Now we've already opened the envelope because our cabin door was actually open when we arrived and our cabin steward was there to greet us. But we haven't touched anything yet, so we're going to show you what it looks like as we enter. Well, first impressions are already very good. It's very light in here. There's lots of space. I absolutely love what's going on here with the walk-in wardrobe. Now, on this ship, there is a walk-in wardrobe area that there is plenty of space in. Lots of hangers here already. We may need to ask for some more, but that is a good tip. If you don't have enough hangers already here, you can ask your cabin steward. Now, let's quickly take a look behind me and start from exactly where you enter. Now, on the back of the door, there is all your safety information. For some reason, it is slightly hanging off. Perhaps they could do with a little bit of glue. And you should have already been to your muster station by the time you get to this point. Underneath that, there is a sign that does talk about throwing away rubbish and where to put your rubbish. We've never seen that before on a ship, so that is quite interesting. Your light switches are also next to the door. They do control the main lighting within the cabin. This is quite important. Make sure you put this outside of your cabin, whether you have gone exploring or are staying in your cabin, so your cabin steward knows whether to make up your cabin or not. Moving on through, there is this excellent full-size mirror here. Now we have 2 formal nights on this cruise, and that means that we can use this to make sure we are looking our best. Let's take a look inside this walk-in wardrobe area. We really love cruise ships that have this walk-in wardrobe style area. There are plenty of hangers here on this one. There's a shelf right up above if you want to store any extra items. We tend to use this space below to store our suitcases. Also stored just on this shelf are 2 life jackets. Now just behind me in this door there is a shelving unit, and in here is where the safe is kept. Now this safe is big enough for an iPad, probably not big enough for a laptop, but there are lots of shelves here. There's also a laundry bag, and the price list for the laundry is just on top of it. Lots of storage here, as you can see, plenty of shelves, plenty of hanging space. You should be fine here no matter the length of your cruise. Now let's go in and have a look at the bathroom. Well, here we are in the bathroom. Actually, it's not too bad a size. It feels a little bit bigger because of this great mirror here right next to me and above the sink area. It's very well lit. 2 big lights here above the sink. Now the sink area, there's plenty of space to store all your items and 3 good sized shelves. There is a charger port here as well for your shavers. Now on P&O they do provide you with White Company products, and on the sink left for us is a White Company hand wash. Underneath the sink area there is an area for facial tissues, and then underneath that any spare toilet roll and a waste paper bin. Now they're obviously big on bins on P&O because right next to the bin here there's also another bin. Right behind me there is the hanging space for hand towels, and then right next to me here is all your bath towels. Now the one thing to point out that in this cabin there is a shower curtain. A little bit disappointing, I know, but it is an older ship so we don't mind too much. Now of course on a cruise ship, if you want your towels changed, you just leave them in the shower tray when you've finished each day. Now usually on a P&O ship those towel changes happen once a day. Okay, so I've got in the shower so you can see the size, and to be honest, it is not the biggest by far. One of our big bugbears probably would be this fixed shower head. It does mean that if you are taller, you will struggle to get under the shower head to wash your hair. If you, like me, you have got hair. Again, White Company products, the shampoo here and a shower gel. If you do want conditioner, just ask your cabin steward, they do have that provided. And of course, there is a few things in here extra, such as the washing line, couple of things to hold on to, but not much more than that. There's only a very small shelving area here if you want to put your products on, so do bear that in mind. Do utilise the shelving space next to the sink. So what do you think of this bathroom? Would you want to stay here? And what do you think of this shower curtain? On the back of the bathroom door, as I walked in, there are 2 good sized hooks, so you could use those to pop your towels on or anything else you wanted to hang up, because nowhere else in the cabin is there any fixed hooks. So if you do have those magnetic hooks, we would recommend bringing them on this ship. Now there are very few hooks located inside this cabin. Actually, the only 2 hooks are inside the bathroom door. So if, like us, you wanted to add some extra storage space, you can use these hooks that you can get from Amazon. The link will be in the description. Now coming on through into the main area of the cabin, I can already see is a big area with plenty of space. This bed is a really good size. Now on top of the bed at the moment there is a luggage mat. We will be unpacking very shortly, so this cabin will soon be filled up. Now looking at this side of the bed, there is a great bedside table with 2 drawers and a shelf just above it. There is a lamp as well on top of the bedside table that is controlled by a switch at the base. There are no plugs or sockets next to the bed and no light switches on this side. That is what differs to the other side of the bed, because there are 2 light switches there and also a Bible on one of the shelves. Now right in the middle of the bed you can see that there are 2 light switches. Just be careful of those when they're set up as a double, because they can easily be knocked. No plugs at all on either side of the bed or USB ports, so do bear that in mind. Now obviously with P&O Ventura, this cabin has got good bedside tables with drawers, which is different to its sister ships like Iona. There is a really big mirror on top of the bed, which means the cabin is nice and light and does feel bigger. The bed itself, as we know, all P&O beds are really comfortable. Even though there's lots of space underneath the wardrobe, you can also store your suitcases underneath the bed. There's plenty of space here underneath the beds in the cabin. And just looking on the opposite side of the bed, we have got this artwork. Now this looks pretty new to me. It doesn't seem to really go with anything in the cabin, but it is interesting. And not forgetting, just next to me is the air conditioning panel, dead simple to use. Well, coming around to this side of the bed, once again there is a bedside table next to the bed. What there isn't is any more plugs or any more USBs. In this corner of the cabin, just off the side of the bed, you will see a big plus and a big minus. Now the big plus for us is a kettle. We do love a kettle in a cabin. There is a good sized kettle, 2 mugs and 2 glasses here. All the tea and coffee facilities are underneath the kettle, and there is plenty of space to make your teas and coffees. And the minus for us, a little niggle, not that we spend too much time in our cabin, is the size of the TV. On other ships we have come across much bigger TVs, flat screen, widescreen TVs. This is a little bit small, but me and Dom don't spend much time in our cabin, so I doubt we'll be watching too much TV. Next to the tea and coffee facilities area is this small side table. Not really sure what the purpose of it is, but I suppose if you're ordering room service, you can eat it using this table. Directly underneath that, you will find a small waste paper bin. There's also a random chair just going about in the cabin. I suppose it's great to sit on, but it doesn't really fit underneath anything. Underneath the tea and coffee area, you will see there is a mini fridge. At the moment, there's nothing in there and they don't stock it as a mini fridge. Now over on this side of the cabin, right opposite the TV, there is this really good sized mirror. Plenty of information because it is embarkation day. We've got our horizon, which is basically our cruise news, tells you everything that's going on the ship. Information about our dining and our information from our cruise cards. There's also a water package there that you can purchase with a discount. Lots of menus and more information here. Now underneath here there is a hairdryer and some more shelving units if you do want to use those. Of course there's a small chair. This is also where you'll find your cabin phone, where you can phone reception, the spa, or even other cabins on the ship. In this cabin there are only 3 UK sockets, 2 here and 1 next to the kettle, and 1 US socket again next to the light switches here. So do bear that in mind. You may need to bring something with you if you've got more devices that you need to charge. Also next to the US style plug socket there is the light switch that does control the lights above the vanity area here. And next to the balcony door there is again another light switch that controls the lights on the balcony. Now don't be too worried if you have children in this balcony cabin. There is a child lock located right at the top of the cabin balcony door. Now let's take a look outside on the balcony itself. Well, here we are out on the balcony. Now already I am super impressed because this has been freshly varnished. There was a sign in the cabin to warn us, so I better not touch it. The chairs here are of a really good size, and there's a little footrest underneath each of the chairs, so there's plenty of space to relax. There's a small table here again that you can sit down, have a coffee in the morning, which I'm sure we will be doing, or even eat a little bit of room service. Now the balcony itself is a reasonably good size. I'm just going to stretch out so you can see roughly how much space you've got. I think we'll definitely enjoy it, and it's a great place to spend some time on warmer cruises or just freshening up of an evening. We like to sit out here. But one thing that I must point out is that as you look down, you can look over the other balconies below. So all in all, for an older ship, I think this is a fantastic cabin. It's definitely spotlessly clean. There is plenty of space. I think we're really going to enjoy our time here. But we will catch up with you really soon, where we'll give our review of what it's like to spend a week in this cabin. See you in a sec. Bye-bye. Well, we are back in the cabin, and we have been in here for a whole week now. So we thought we'd share with you our thoughts on what was good about the cabin and what was not so great.
Let's start off with the positives. There is so much storage space. The walk-in wardrobe is ideal, plenty of hanging space. You can also place your shoes, your suitcases underneath.
There is also plenty of shelves in that unit right next to the walk-in wardrobe. Where your safe is located, there is ample space for mine and Dom's clothes for the week, but I definitely think you would easily do 2 weeks or longer in here and still have plenty of storage space.
It's great to find full-size bedside tables in the cabin. The drawers on each are a good depth and you can fit plenty in them.
The second great thing that we've loved about this cabin is the balcony. Yes, the balcony and the balcony furniture have been perfect. There's a small table, 2 chairs and footstools. Now you do need to turn your chair and footstool to the side in order to get your legs right stretched out, but we think for our cruise that hasn't been particularly the hottest. The cabin chairs have been perfect, but we even think they'd be great on a warm cruise as well.
The condition of the balcony is really great, and it's been the perfect spot to enjoy some of those beautiful sailorways. And finally, another highlight of this cabin has to be the bed. It's been super comfortable, no issues or problems going to sleep, and we have to agree that P&O do very good beds.
Yeah, it's been very comfortable for us both. Now it's time to talk about the things that are not so great in this cabin. The first thing we must mention is in the bathroom. Yes, there is that dreaded shower curtain. I know cruise vloggers are obsessed about shower curtains, but when it sticks to you in the shower, we're not so keen. But we do prefer a glass shower panel or door instead. And the other thing that has been a little niggle for us in the bathroom is the fixed shower head. Particularly if you're tall, you may find this a problem, or if you like to use a movable shower head so your hair doesn't get wet, that also could be a factor to bear in mind. But all in all, the shower has been fine, but we absolutely love the White Company products.
The White Company products are really high quality. They smell lovely. It's a great addition to P&O bathrooms. The only other little niggle with the shower would be there's not much storage space in the shower itself. Finding somewhere for your own shower gel can be a little bit tricky.
Now, of course, the big thing inside the main cabin has to be the amount of power outlets for us. There may be more hidden somewhere else, but we have not found them. So bear that in mind when you are coming on board. There are 2 power outlets just located by the main desk area, and there is 1 US style outlet, but unless you've bought a US adapter, you won't be able to use that. So all in all, we would absolutely recommend this cabin. We haven't had any problems with noise at all. It has been very comfortable in here, only those small little niggles that really are very minor. So if you are thinking of booking this cabin or have already booked this cabin, we think this is a great choice.
Thanks for watching our standard balcony cabin B227 here on P&O Ventura. If you've got any comments or questions, just pop them in the box below and we'll get back to you. If you'd like to support us in creating future content and receiving exclusive benefits, we're also available on Patreon and through YouTube channel memberships.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more content available on our YouTube channel, so press that subscribe button. If you're interested in receiving daily updates, we're available on most social media platforms. Just search for Tom and Dom Travel.